often called the nectar of the gods, is among the oldest known alcoholic beverages. Its history spans thousands of years, touching many cultures across Europe, Asia, Africa, and even the Americas. Revered in ancient ceremonies, celebrated in myths, and enjoyed in daily life, mead has played a significant role in human culture, from the Vikings of Northern Europe to the philosophers of ancient Greece, and from the highlands of Ethiopia to the Himalayas. Mead's story is rich with history and tradition. Let's explore how mead evolved from a simple fermented drink into a symbol of celebration and spirituality across different civilizations. But before we jump in, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And as a little thank you, grab my free ebook, Mead Making at Home Easily. You'll find the link in the description or the pinned comment. Mead's origins are somewhat mysterious, but it's believed to have been discovered by chance thousands of years ago, long before humans began farming or crafting pottery. The first mead may have been created when early humans stumbled upon honeycombs filled with rainwater that had naturally fermented with the help of wild yeast. This accidental discovery could have occurred as far back as 8,000 years ago, with the earliest known evidence of mead found in pottery fragments from ancient China. These residues indicate that fermented honey-based beverages were made by Neolithic people as early as 7000 BCE. Beyond China, honey-based drinks were also enjoyed in the Himalayas, where fermented beverages like chang, that's C-H-H-A-N-G, became integral in religious ceremonies and social gatherings, particularly among Tibetan Buddhists. Mead quickly spread beyond its humble beginnings, becoming integral to the cultures of many ancient societies. In Europe, Celts and Vikings believed mead had magical and spiritual properties. The Vikings in particular were known for their love of mead, which was often consumed during celebrations, feasts, and religious ceremonies. Mead appears in numerous Norse myths, such as the legend of the Mead of Poetry, a mythical drink that granted wisdom and poetic inspiration to anyone who consumed it. Similarly, in Celtic mythology, mead was considered a divine drink of immortality, playing a central role in the tales of heroes and gods. Mead also held a significance in other parts of the world. In ancient India, the drink was referred to as madhu. In texts like Rigveda, dated back to around 1700 to 1100 BCE. These texts show that mead was used in religious rituals and was considered a gift to the gods. In Greece and Rome, mead was known and respected as a drink that could enliven gatherings and connect people with the divine. The Greek philosopher Aristotle and Roman naturalist Pliny the Elder both wrote about mead, indicating its widespread use and appreciation. Meanwhile, in the surrounding regions, honey-based drinks were mentioned in various historical texts, often linked with medicinal practices and hospitality. As ancient peoples migrated and established trade routes, mead traveled with them, adapting to local tastes and ingredients. In Africa, mead was often made with honey, water, and various spices or herbs. A notable example is tej in Ethiopia, a type of honey wine flavored with gesso, G-E-S-H-O leaves, which is similar to hops used in beer. Tej has been consumed for centuries in religious ceremonies, weddings, and social gatherings, becoming a symbol of Ethiopian culture. In China, honey wine might be flavored with fruits and flowers, while in the Americas, some Mayan and Aztec societies fermented drinks using honey, blending it with local fruits or other plants to create unique beverages. Each region added to its distinct twist to the drink. The Egyptians, too, are believed to have brewed mead, using it in religious rituals and as offerings to their gods. Additionally, honey-based drinks have surfaced in lesser-known parts of history, like the references in medieval Islamic texts, where mead was described as a luxurious and healing beverage. By the time of the Middle Ages, mead had become a popular drink across Northern Europe, especially in the British Isles, where it was consumed at all levels of society, from peasants to royalty. Monasteries played a significant role in mead production, using their knowledge of fermentation to create meads for religious ceremonies, medicinal purposes, and daily consumption. Monks refined fermentation techniques, experimented with various ingredients, and produced high-quality meads which were prized for their purity and often sold to sustain the monastic communities. Mead's popularity began to wane in the late Middle Ages. Several factors contributed to its decline. First, the rise of beer and wine production provided cheaper and more accessible alternatives. Beer became particularly popular in Europe due to the introduction of hops, which allowed for longer storage and wider distribution. Meanwhile, the increased trade of sugar from the New World reduced the reliance on honey as a primary sweetener, making honey less available and more expensive. These shifts in trade and production marked the decline of mead in many regions. By the 18th and 19th century, mead was largely forgotten, as beer, wine, and spirits took over the alcoholic beverage market. In many regions, mead making became a rare craft, kept alive only by a few traditionalists or in isolated communities. Yet in some places, like rural Ethiopia, Tej continued to thrive as an essential part of the cultural fabric, and in isolated European communities, the knowledge of mead making survived through oral traditions and historical recipes. Despite its decline, mead never entirely disappeared. In recent decades, a renewed interest in historical beverages, craft brewing, and artisanal products has sparked a mead revival. This resurgence is partly fueled by the craft beer movement, a growing fascination with ancient and authentic beverages, and lifestyle trends like the paleo diet, which promotes the consumption of natural honey. Mead makers today are rediscovering ancient recipes, experimenting with new flavors, and creating unique meads that appeal to modern tastes. This renewed interest is helping to reestablish mead's place in the world, bridging the gap between an ancient past and an innovative future. Mead's rich history, from its accidental discovery to its revered status in ancient cultures, highlights its significance as one of humanity's first alcoholic drinks. Modern scientific studies and archaeological findings continue to uncover more about ancient fermentation techniques, the types of yeast used in mead making, deepening our understanding of this ancient craft. As we uncover more about mead's journey through time, we find a story that connects us to our ancestors and their traditions, reminding us that some pleasures, like the enjoyment of a well-crafted drink, are timeless. Mead's current revival is just not a trend, but a continuation of a tradition that began thousands of years ago, showing that this ancient beverage still has much to offer in today's world. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe for more mead making tips. And remember, you can grab my free ebook, Mead Making at Home Easily, using the link in the description or the pinned comment below. If you're interested in more mead making tips, check out my other mead making videos over here.